Hello, Lemon9 here, Battletech Bastion. Want to show you guys how to make a cheap alternative to a basing material. It's a nice stuff. Gale Forces 9 concrete rubble mix. I don't know if you can see that. Who cares? The stuff's not bad, but at $4 for a little can like this, that's a little bit much. And the stuff works. It makes some decent bases. I used one can of it, and then I was like, what the hell am I doing? I picked this up just to show you guys. But, yeah, you got this little container. The stuff's nice, but, again, at $4 a can, $4 a thing, yeah, I don't think so. So, what I want to do is I want to show you how to make a cheaper alternative. Basically, you know, this is what one of my previous videos, I showed you how to make this. I want to show you how I went about making the larger pieces, which is what basically the rubble. Alright, first what I want to do is go through a list of supplies you're going to need. So, and exactly just what, try and give you an approximate cost. So, alright, well, first and most important thing you're going to need, you can probably use something else, but I use all-purpose joint compound. I picked it up at Walmart for, I don't know, I think it was $2.50. So, that's the first, but, you know, the most important supply you're going to need. Okay, now the next supply, actually, this is an optional one, but I will put some black paint in. I think this bottle was like $2.50 at Walmart, so there's $5 so far. I use this to make the joint compound a little darker color than white. I'll explain why later. Styrofoam plate. I picked a pack of those up for $1, so we're up to $6 so far. A cup or something to mix the compound in. Again, another pack of those for $1. So let's see, that's what, $7 so far. What else do we need? Oh yes, here we go. Something to stir it with. I'm using some craft popsicle sticks. You can use any old thing you got laying around, but I got a big pack of these at a dollar store for, well, $1. So we're up to $8. Okay, now you're going to need a container, an empty container to put your finished product in. I have these old set. This is a, you know, we all have them laying around probably for one reason or another, but little sandwich container, I picked a pack up for $1. But you guys can, this is just what I keep. I store all my basing supplies in these things, so I picked them up at, again, the dollar store, so I got them $1, so that's what, $8 now. And let me think here if that's everything. Yeah, that's it. So $8. So let me start showing you how. Basically, first what we have to do is get your cup and your compound. Now, I've already opened this up and mixed it somewhat. I haven't put any of the color in yet, but sometimes when you open this stuff, there'll be a little bit of there'll be some water sitting on top. So you're gonna wanna mix it up to basically get the water mixed back into the stuff. So, but I've already done that, as you can see. It's just compound, not that big a deal. See there. But yeah, it's a bit of an off-white color, but it'll dry lighter. So, also grab your paint. Actually, this paint was for, I'm using a different one. Pour a little bit of paint in the bottom of your cup. You can basically make this as full as you want. I pretty much go about 2/3. Real fun. Actually, if you want to, you can just mix. If you want to you can just skip the cup step and pour the paint directly into the large container. But I'm showing you this step because if you want to like have the large chunks of rubble be different colors, like say like a tan if you're doing a sandstone or whatnot. So you want to mix it up in multiple different containers. But I only, being that I play BattleTech, I'm just using this to make concrete rubble, so black will do, and it'll dye it somewhat. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more paint in, just so I can get it mixed all the way through here. Yes, I know this isn't the paint that I showed you that I'm putting in, but this tube was given to me, and I'm just using it up. It's black. So basically just gotta stir it up pretty well. And you want to stir it to the point where the entire jar is gray, or cup is gray. And you get a good consistent color. Actually, you know, it doesn't even really matter if you get a good consistent color, because the reason for putting paint or dye or anything to darken this stuff up is just basically so that if for some reason after you paint it, if it chips or gets a small scratch or nick in it, being that it's a dark color, you're really not going to notice. Because chances are, if you're painting concrete, like a rubble base, whatever, you're going to be using a dark gray as your base color anyhow. So, like I said, if you get a small chip or a crack, no one will be able to tell. Okay, I got pretty well stirred to the point when I did add a little bit of water just to thin it out some bit, so easier for pouring, because it was just a little on the thick side, so I added a little water. You don't, just enough to personal taste, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's thoroughly mixed. I got a dark gray color here, if you can see that. So now I want to pour it out. This is where you get your styrofoam plate. Don't use paper because it'll stick to the paper. Styrofoam, you won't have that problem. Just basically pour this sucker out. The popsicle stick makes it easy. It's a little on the thick. This batch is a little on the thick side, but it's no big deal. And if you find that you didn't completely mix it through, and you're getting like streaks of lighter or darker color, that's really not a big deal either way, because this is really meant to be painted over. And I got most of it out. So, got this out on the plate. You just want to spread it out on the plate. And the thing is, you can make, and if you want to, you can make sure you add more water to it. And this is a little bit thick, but for the purposes of this, I'm just showing you the technique, not the finer points. Just spread it out. And you can try, bouncing it a little so it'll spread out. If you want it to be perfectly smooth, which I do like, just smooth it out. Like I said, you can pour this out. I would have preferred I would have liked to have made this a lot thinner, but it's no big deal. And don't worry about air bubbles or anything like that, because it's not going to matter with this stuff. And this stuff will settle down somewhat, so it's not going to be that big of a deal if you get lines or stuff in it while you're doing this. Alright, so got it that far. Some on my finger, no big deal. Just shake it a little. Okay, now you're going to want to put this somewhere out of the way. It's going to take a while for it to dry, so if Daddy's little rock star is a hammer-wielding space marine that can wipe out an entire horde of orc in a few seconds, yeah, you're definitely going to put it somewhere out of the way. But, yeah, just put it out of the way so it can sit and dry, and it will take a long time. I mean, this method, it will take like a day or two for like 24 to 48 hours for it to completely dry. But it's not that big a deal. You just basically mix it, pour it, and then put it away for a while. And if you forget about it and come back to it like a week later, that's it. That's no big deal either. But, again, once you got to pour it out, just put it somewhere where it's out of the way. Especially out of a space marine, hammer-wielding space marine. This way, and you'll be good. And I'll show you in a little bit what the next step is. Okay, well, here's a plate that I did a few days ago. As you can see, it's nice and hard and dry. It's got a bunch of cracks and stuff in it, and that's absolutely fine for what I'm going to be doing to it next. Basically, this stuff's dry completely through, so you just push on the bottom underneath the plate, and it'll start popping up. And you're going to get these large chunks. So you see, I have massive, massive chunks. The next step is pretty easy. And if you want to get the hammer-wielding Space Marine to do this for you, go for it. You just got to break it up in whatever size chunks you want. As small, as big, or as little. I tend to not break it down too small, because if I want a piece smaller, I can always bust it down even smaller, but once it's busted down to us, you can't make them bigger. And besides, if you leave the larger chunks like this, when you go to use it as basing material, you can break it apart and then like put it next to each other to actually look like it's supposed to be there, and it's just cracked in half. So there's a good idea for basing material. But okay, as you can see, here's the Gale Force 9 product. And let me get a good chip. Here we go. And here's mine. Now, this batch is a little bit thinner than this, but that's okay. But it's essentially the same. It's the same damn thing. I think theirs is a little bit harder material than this, but again, no big deal. I can dye when mixing this up. I can dye it any color I want. I can get. Actually, I've done three. When I did this previous setup, I did 3 plates. And it's going to give me enough basing material. They're thinking, like, say, let me think here. Alright, you know what? If I'm going to have enough stuff to base my battle mechs for a long time, but, like, say, this single container that I got for $2.50, plus all the other supplies, which I think added up to not $8. You're going to have enough material here to do more than one army. So if you'd want, you could put your Space Marines, whatever army you play, or your battle mechs, any game you play, you're going to have enough Rubble material here to last you for a very, very long time. And like I said, when mixing it up, you can dye it any color you want. I just go with gray. So, basically, you're going to get, for $8, you're going to get enough material to last you for a long time, versus $4 for what comes in this little container. So it's not that bad. It's, like I said, it takes some time, but it's definitely worth doing because you're gonna save a boatload of money. And that'll leave more money. That'll leave you more money for buying miniatures. Oh yeah, the container. Like I said, I put all my basic material on that. Slides off pretty easy in there. You know, chuck the plate and you're done. So this has been Wemmick9, the Battletech Bastion. I hope this money saver tip helped you. So talk to you later. Bye.